Camera okay or all set?
Stop the share.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to the second day of the 22nd annual, well not quite annual, Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival, and our first time, as I mentioned yesterday, live and in person in 3 years. It's wonderful to have you all here, and welcome to this historic venue, the Moffatt-Ladd House and the 18th century warehouse from which we are live streaming for the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. I would like to remind you all that the merch table is now at Market Square, and you can be there anytime to pick up merch there until after the Shanty Blast when we shut it down. It's so nice to be able to give some of the music from these artists an availability to you all for purchase, so check that out. Also, remember this festival is free because of you all. We cannot run this festival without you. It is run entirely by support from donations. And Michelle and Gail are back there with the donation buckets, so please give generously at the close of this adventure. Those of you on live stream, you can go to pmffest.org. That's pmffest.org to make a donation. Also, I believe some of the posters around here have QR codes on them that will allow you to donate as well. Don't ask me how to do that. Someone younger will have to help you with that adventure. But anyhow, we're here at Moffatt-Ladd for the second day of our festival, and we have some terrific talent behind me here. The Skylar Trad Band and Don Sinetti.
Should it be ladies before gentlemen, or what?
I think you go ahead.
Okay. Tristan. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. Away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. We're bound away so far away, cross the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, you're a mighty chief. Away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I love your daughter. We're bound away so far away, cross the wide Missouri. Oh, the sailor loved the Indian maiden. Away, you rolling river. With trade and goods, his canoe was laden. We're bound away so far away, cross the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, you're a mighty river. Away, you rolling river. And when you roll, our topsails quiver. We're bound away so far away, cross the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, you're a mighty chief. Away, you rolling river. Oh,
more boat verses to it recently.
What key do we play this
We played an
This is going to do a shanty for you now, and it's one I really enjoy a lot, and I hope you will too. Here we go. We're sailing across the river from Liverpool, heave away, Santiano, around Cape Horn to Frisco Bay, all across the plains of Mexico. So heave her up and away we'll go, heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go, all across the plains of Mexico. Santiano was a mighty fine man. Heave away, Santiano, until he made war with Uncle Sam all across the plains of Mexico. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go, General Taylor gained the day. Heave away, Santiano. He made old Santi run away all across the plains of Mexico. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go all across the plains of Mexico. Mexico, where the land lies low. Heave away, Santiano. There ain't no snow and the whale fish blow all across the plains of Mexico. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go all across the plains of Mexico. When I was a young man and in me prime, heave away, Santiano. I court them young gals 10 at a time all across the plains of Mexico. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go all across the plains of Mexico. But now I'm old and I'm turning gray. Heave away, Santiano. Them young gals run in a different way. So it's across the plains of Mexico. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go all across the plains of Mexico. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go all across the plains of Mexico.
We'll just go straight for it.
Yes.
We shipped on board of the Ebenezer every day. We'll scrub and grease her holy stoner and scrape her down. And if we grub, they'd blow us down.
Get along, boys, get along, do. Handy me, boys, so handy. Oh, get along, boys, get along, do. Handy me, boys, so handy.
The old man was a drunken geezer, he could not sail. The Ebenezer learned his trade on a Chinese junk. Spent most time down in his bunk.
Get along, boys, get along, do. Handy me, boys, so handy. Oh, get along, boys, get along, do. Handy me, boys, so handy.
The first mate's name was Dickie Green, sir, the cruelest brute that you've ever seen, sir. Walking the deck with a bucko roll. May the sharks have his body and the devil take his soul.
Get along, boys, get along, do. Handy me, boys, so handy.
Woo!
Get along, boys, get along, do. Handy me, boys, so handy.
Ebenezer was so old, she knew Columbus as a boy. Was to pump her bullies night and day to help her get across the Piscataqua River.
Get along, boys, get along, do. Handy me, boys, so handy. Get along, boys, get along, do. Handy me, boys, so handy.
I get along, boys,
Get along, do. Handy me, boys, so handy. Get along, handy, me boys, so handy.
It's a little slow, my one.
Alright, this is my tied for favorite shanty. A couple different ways. I'm gonna do it the way, for this workshop, the way that it is actually notated in the rhythm that's notated in the Shanties of the Seven Seas. There's some that's bound for New York town and some that's bound for France. Heave away, me Johnnies, heave away, away. And there's some that's bound for the Bengal Bay to teach them whales a dance. Heave away, me Johnny boys, we're all bound to go. Oh, our pilot, he's a-waiting for the turning of the tide. Heave away, me Johnnies, heave away, away. And then me girls will be gone again with a good and westerly wind. Heave away, me Johnny boys, we're all bound to go. So farewell to you, me Kingston girls, farewell St. Andrew's docks. Heave away, me Johnnies, heave away, away. If ever we come back again, we'll make your cradles rock. Heave away, me Johnny boys, we're all bound to go. So come all of you hard weather sailing lads that round the Cape of Storms. Heave away, me Johnnies, heave away, away. But be sure your boots and oilskins on, or you'll wish you'd never been born. Heave away, me Johnny boys, we're all bound to go.
This song from the it's still in tune. One of them. This is amazing. But in the Civil War era,
working holiday visa. I was in Wellington, and I would go to a pub saying that was like a lot of British expats and Kiwis, but I think this is like slightly different than it, and I haven't really. If anybody's heard a similar version to this on the stateside, please let me know, because I'm starting to wonder. Was you ever in Quebec, where you break your bleeding neck, loading timber on the deck, riding on a donkey? Way, hey, and away we go, donkey riding, way, hey, and away we go, riding on a donkey. Was you ever in Miramichi, where they ties you to a tree, and the girls sit on your knee, riding on a donkey? Way, hey, and away we go, donkey riding, way, hey, and away we go, riding on a donkey. Was you ever in Baltimore, dancing on the sanded floor, and the girls all shout for more, riding on a donkey? Way, hey, and away we go, donkey riding, way, hey, and away we go, riding on a donkey. Was you ever in Frisco Bay, where the gals all shout hooray, here comes Johnny with a 6 months pay, riding on a donkey? Way, hey, and away we go, donkey riding, way, hey, and away we go, riding on a donkey. Was you ever in Cape Horn, where the seas are never warm, and there's a lion and a unicorn, riding on a donkey? Way, hey, and away we go, donkey riding, way, hey, and away we go, riding on a donkey? Way, hey, and away we go, donkey riding, way, hey, and away we go, riding on a donkey.
My wife demanded I sing. And it's a long walk back to Connecticut, you know. At the end of the day, I like a little drink, I raise up my voice and sing. And an hour or two with the fine brown brew, and I'm ready for anything. At the cross trees inn there were sisters for the landlord's loaders fair. And every night when I took the light, I would tiptoe up the stairs. One for the morning glory, two for the early dew, three for the man who'll stand his ground, and four for the love of you, my girls, four for the love of you. I got the call from the foreign shore to go and fight the foe, and I got no more of the sisters for, but still I was sad to go. We sailed away on a ship, the Morning Glory was her name. We'd all fall down when the rum went round, and we'd get up and start again. One for the Morning Glory, two for the early dew, three for the man who'll stand his ground, and four for the love of you, my girls, four for the love of you. I sailed once more to the native shore, farewell to the raging sea, and across the inn was a beckoning, and my heart was filled with glee. And there on the shore were the sisters four, a bundle upon each knee. There were three little girls and a bouncing boy, they all looked just like me. One for the morning glory, two for the early dew, three for the man who'll stand his ground, and four for the love of you, my girls, four for the love of you.
We're running way ahead of time. We're going to have to slide in some more stuff. Oh.
We have some stuff. I think we have a mold in a boat.
We do.
One of our main tunes. This is not in tune. You want a little, just like maybe an A or something.
Maybe an A? This is maybe an A. Somewhere in between those two notes is an A. is a set of 3 tunes that we really like.
Could you give me a D?
Tuning an untunable instrument to an untunable instrument.
There are people who love to hear like the sound of an orchestra tuning up, but I think we should make a recording for them. Benefit those people so they would
Borrow your phone.
there's more sauce.
I'm borrowing my bones. Do you want to talk about the first tune?
Off she goes. It's a very enthusiastic, optimistic jig. It was played supposedly, historically, when ships were leaving the harbor for the first time, the maiden voyage of perhaps all your money, or perhaps your sweetheart, or or maybe both. So off she goes. It's an optimistic tune for an optimistic time.
Yeah. And the second one was I did a bunch of reading on recently and discovered that everything I've been told about it was wrong. The second one is a old-time tune called Over the Waterfall, which the modern version comes from a recording that was collected in 1967. But there are versions of this tune that go back to at least the English Music Hall in 1865, and then it turns up the next year in the American Music Hall. So, and then the third one is a Rodney Miller tune from 2016 called William Blake's Dead.
Perhaps after Over the Water.
Yeah. The downfall of William Blake.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is one I was planning to sing here, and the person that I wanted to sing it for isn't here, but I'll sing it anyway. Does that make any sense at all? Okay. So
They're
it's
lost.
a little different kind of one, but. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Oh, I looked over Jordan and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels was a coming for me, a coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Oh, my mama and my daddy, they're waiting for me, coming for to carry me home. My mama and my daddy, they're waiting for me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Oh, my brothers and my sisters, they're waiting for me, coming for to carry me home. My brothers and my sisters, they're waiting for me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
We have that the next time. If you want me to.
Yeah,
Um,
I always want you to.
okay. See if I have the voice for this. Surprise request. In Frisco town there lived a man, and Larry Moore was his name. And in the days of the Cape Horn trade, he played the old Shanghai game in the old Virginia lowlands. Lowlands, low, in the old Virginia lowlands, low. I can always tell in photos when I'm singing the song because I'm doing this. 5 or 6 old drunken shellbacks standing at the bar, and Larry was serving them from the big 5-gallon jar in the old Virginia lowlands. Lowlands, low, in the old Virginia lowlands, low. Now a hell-ship she was wanting hands of 4 red-blooded tars, and Larry and the missus, they primed the beer from that big 5-gallon jar. In the old Virginia lowlands, lowlands, low. In the old Virginia lowlands, low. Shellbacks and farmers just the same strolled into Larry Marr's and sailed away around Cape Horn, helped by that big stone jar. In the old Virginia lowlands, lowlands, low. In the old Virginia lowlands, low. In Frisco town his name is known, as is the Cape Horn bars, and the dope they served up to old Jack from that big 5-gallon jar. In the old Virginia lowlands, lowlands, low. In the old Virginia lowlands, in Frisco town there lived a man, and Larry Marr was his name. And in the days of the Cape Horn trade, he played the old Shanghai game.
One of the things that I do and with my wife Mary is we do programs in association with the Mystic Seaport and other kind of venues like that. And this is one we always do, especially when we have young groups of kids, because there's a part of it that is they find interesting, okay? And Mary, after you can come up and explain that line we got from that particular girl.
Oh yeah, we were in Pomfret and we were at an after-school program, and Don was singing this song, and just before that I had mentioned that what hardtack was, and we passed around some and we said, don't bite into it because you're liable to break your tooth, that it was, soaked in rum or coffee or soup or something like that. So Don sang the song, and then this little girl pulled on my pant leg and she says, I eat the hardtack.
Yankee ship on the Congo River, blow, boys, blow. Her mast and yards they shake and shiver. Blow me, bully boys, blow. And how do you know she's a Yankee packet? Blow, boys, blow. She fired her cannon, such a racket. Blow me, bully boys, blow. Oh, blow us together. Blow, boys, blow. Oh, blow me, boys, for better weather. Blow me, bully boys, blow. Now, what do you think we had for dinner? Blow, boys, blow. A monkey heart and a donkey liver. Blow me, bully boys, blow. So blow me, bullies, together. Blow, boys, blow. And blow me, boys, for better weather. Blow me, bully boys, blow. And what do you think we had for supper? Blow, boys, blow. Belaying pin soup, but only much thinner. Blow me, bully boys, blow. So blow me, bullies, together. Blow, boys, blow. And blow me, bullies, for better weather. Blow me, bully boys, blow. So blow me, boys, together. Blow, boys, blow. And blow me, boys, for better weather. Blow me, bully boys, blow. Oh!
Why not?
I'm happy. Okay, staying on the shanty train.
Literally.
Literally. This is one I've also been doing a lot when I do school programs. It's a banger. Okay. In 1841, I put my corduroy breeches on. I put my corduroy breeches on to work upon the railway.
Fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, working on the railway.
In 1842, I was looking around for something to do, looking around for something to do, but work upon the railway.
Fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, working on the railway.
In 1843, I thought that I would go to sea, but the American Railroad hired me to work upon the railway.
Fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, working on the railway.
In 1844, I found my back was mighty sore. Found my back was mighty sore from working on the railway.
Fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, working on the railway.
In 1845, I found that I was more dead than alive. Found that I was more dead than alive from working on the railway.
Fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, working on the railway.
In 1846, I found myself in a hell of a fix. Stepped in a pile of dynamite sticks while working on the railway.
Fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, working on the railway.
In 1847, the children I had, they numbered 11. Boys at 4, girls at 7 from working on the railway.
Fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, working on the railway.
In 1848, I finally got out, but far too late. I was picking pearls at the pearly gate and working on the railway.
Fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, working on the railway. Fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, fiddle me, ori-ori-ay, working on the railway.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. Let's hear it for the Skylark Trad Band and Don Sinetti. Rick and Donna Nessler will be up. Rick and Donna Nessler will be up in just a few minutes. I want to thank you all. We had a great time. My name is Nick Noble. I am the host of the Folk Revival on WICN Worcester Public Radio, but I'm also the treasurer of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival, and so I'm asking you to, make my job easier. Make a donation on your way out, please. Gail and Michelle have the buckets. Thank you so much. That was terrific. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the second day of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival 2022, our 22nd festival, but our first live and in person in 3 years. It's wonderful to be back here, and especially be back. Yes, go ahead. Especially be back in this terrific historic venue, the Moffatt-Ladd house, in this 18th century warehouse with its wonderful acoustics and a great place to listen to some terrific music. My name is Nick Noble. In the real world, I'm the host of the Folk Revival on WICN out of Worcester, Massachusetts. But in this world, real or not, I am the treasurer of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. And so I welcome you all and want you to understand that this free festival would not be possible without the support and donations of you all. So my friends Gail and Michelle have donation buckets back there, and they would more than happily accept your gifts on the way out. Also, if you want some merchandise, it's available at Market Square. We've got CDs from several performers. And of course, if you're online on the live stream or listen to YouTube later, you can always donate at pmffest.org, pmffest.org. I understand there's some QR codes wandering around. You can also access if you actually know how to do that. So I hope that you all have a great time. And we're having a great time here at the Moffatt-Ladd House and the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. And you're going to have a great time for the next 45 minutes with Rick and Donna Nessler.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with a little Caribbean number for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Angelina, please bring down your concertina and play welcome for me. I'll be coming home from sea. It's so long since I've been home. Seems like there's no place to roam. Well, I've sailed around the Horn. I've been from San Jose up to Baffin's Bay, and I've rolled up any storm. And it's Angelina, Angelina, please bring down your concertina and play a welcome for me. I'll be coming home from sea. Well, I've heard the body tunes, been in honky-tonk saloons. My liquor by the vat. Well, I stayed on call for a rousing ball. Home was where I hung my hat. And it, Angelina, Angelina, bring down your concertina and play a welcome for me. I've been in ports all around the world, but my rambling days are done. Been from Curacao up to Tokyo, and I found there's only one. And she's Angelina, Angelina, please bring down your concertina and play a welcome for me. I'll be coming home from sea. So long since I've been home, seems like there's no place to roam. Well, I've sailed around the Horn. I've been from San Jose up to Baffin's Bay, and I've rowed from the sea.
Thank you for singing along. I need a lot of help, especially when I'm trying to get up
Yes, yes, we love to hear the audience sing along. If you, we'll just make a blanket statement at this point. If you recognize any of the songs we sing, you feel like singing along, please do. You couldn't possibly butcher these songs any worse than we already do. So what would you like to play now?
I played concertina already.
Okay.
We're from upstate New York. We're between the Hudson River Valley and the Delaware River Valley. And so this is not technically nautical, but I kind of stray. It's got water in it.
Water or alcohol?
A for alcohol?
Water or alcohol?
Oh, well, no, this doesn't have alcohol in it. I had to run through the lyrics. I'll do, no, that was last night, never mind. I was born in the path of the winter wind, raised where the mountains are old. Their springtime waters came dancing down. I remember the tales they told, the whistling ways of my younger days, too quickly have faded on by. But all of my memories linger like the light in the fading sky. River, take me along in your sunshine, sing me your song, ever moving and winding and free. You roll an old river, you change an old river, but you and me, river, run down to the sea. I've been to the city and back again, been moved by some things that I've learned. Met a lot of good people and I call them friends. Love to change when the seasons turn. I've heard all the songs that the children sing and listened to love's melody and felt my own music live in the eyes like the wind in the autumn leaves. River, take me along in your sunshine, sing me your song, ever moving and winding and free. You roll an old river, you change an old river, let you and me, river, run down to the sea. River, take me along in your sunshine, sing me your song, ever moving and winding and free. You roll an old river, you change an old river, let you and me, river, run down to the sea. Someday when the flowers are blooming still, someday when the grass is still green, my rolling waters go round the bend and flow into the open sea. So here's to the rainbows that follow my year, and here's to the friends that I know, and here's to the song that's within me now. I will sing it wherever I go. River, take me along in your sunshine, sing me your song, ever moving and winding and free. You roll an old river, you change an old river, let you and me, river, run down to the sea. I love that song. Makes me think of good friends like Jamie in the back.
Well,
Yes, dear.
as long as we're in New York,
We're not in New York.
well,
You missed. I know I've been screwing up the map all weekend, but we are in New Hampshire. I know that much.
well, so much for that introduction. Thank you. Anyway, we've been hearing a lot of whaling songs this weekend. We're going to stick our oar in. Most folks don't know that the Hudson River had two great whaling ports on it. One was Poughkeepsie. They had over 70 whaling vessels sail in and out of there over the course of a century. And the other one was a little town called Hudson, New York. It was actually America's first prefab town. The whalers that sailed out of New Bedford and Martha's Vineyard kind of got tired of having their vessels picked off by the British during several, shall we say, conflicts. And so what they decided to do is find some place that was not quite so accessible to the British fleet. So what they did was they looked around, they ended up going all the way up the Hudson River, about 2/3 of the way up there. And they found a spot in the river where there was actually a freshwater spring that came up through the bed of the Hudson River and had some extremely good water that was said to last at least twice as long as the water that they would have pulled out of any natural freshwater river. And they decided that that's where they would build their town. So what they did was they put together all kinds of buildings. Places like this warehouse, houses, smithies, things like that. They built them, numbered the parts, took the buildings apart again, put them on the whalers, and then sailed up the Hudson River. And within 6 months, they had a going concern up there where they had a full-service whaling port. And we're going to sing a version of Blow Ye Winds in the Morning called the Hudson Whalers. You ready?
Yes, dear.
Okay. Is advertised in Hudson, New York, and Buffalo. 500 brave Americans are whaling for to go. Blow your winds in the morning, blow your winds high ho. Clear away, running gear, and blow, boys, blow. Our captain's on the quarterdeck, just squinting at the sails. Up aloft the lookout spots a spouting school of whales. Singing, blow your winds in the morning, blow your winds high ho. Clear away, running gear, and blow, boys, blow. So over with the boats, me boys, and after him we'll travel. If you get too near his boots, he'll kick you to the devil. Blow your wings in the morning, blow your winds high ho. Clear away, running gear, and blow, boys, blow. Now once that whale is ours, we will tow him alongside. Over with our blubber hooks and rob him of his hide. Blow your winds in the morning, blow your winds high ho. Clear away, running gear, and blow, boys, blow. Next comes trying out. It'll take us night and day. After 6 months out at sea, we 15 cents for pay. Blow your winds in the morning, blow your winds high ho. Clear away, running gear, and blow, boys, blow. Now once we're back in port, we're all through with sailing. The winding glass around, we'll pass and down this blubber whaling. Blow your winds in the morning, now blow your winds high ho. Clear away, running gear, and blow, boys, blow. Yes, I said blow your winds in the morning, blow your winds high ho. Clear away, running gear, and blow, boys, blow.
Thank you. Eeny, meeny, Eeny, miny, mo sounds like okay. I haven't done this one
It's
yet.
the scientific principle.
I make lists, and then I make more lists. And then we sit down and we go through the lists. Well, I go through the list and make a list so that he can choose from the list. I used to make crafted,
And then you
wonderful.
leave it on the table.
No. I made crafted set lists. I mean, just like great keys and all themed. And we'd get on stage and he'd play something not on any of the lists. So now I just make a whole list. Here, choose, make it so. Mermaid Deer in Key of C. We were at the Essex Sea Music Festival. Anybody else go? I recommend it next year. They had a symposium before, and it was a whole thing about this song. That it started in the, help me, 1400s?
Yeah.
1400s. They could trace this song back that far. I'm not going that far back. I'm not that old yet. 'Twas Friday morn when we set sail, and we were not far from the land. When the captain he spied a mermaid so fair, with a comb and a glass in her hand. And the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow. And we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, below, below. While the landlubbers lie down below. Up spoke the captain of our gallant ship, and a fine-spoken man was he. Said I have... Oh yeah, we'll do that again. Over! Up spoke the captain of our gallant ship, and a fine-spoken man was he. Said this fishy mermaid has warned us of our doom. We will sink to the bottom of the sea. And the ocean waves do roll, they roll, and the stormy winds do blow, they blow. We poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, below, below. While the landlubbers lie down below. Up spoke the first mate of our gallant ship, and a fine-looking man was he. Said, I have a wife in Brooklyn by the sea, and tonight a widow she will be. And the ocean waves do roll, they roll, and the stormy winds do blow, how they blow. We poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, below, below. While the landlubbers lie down below. Up spoke the cabin boy of our gallant ship, said, I have a girl in Bristol by the sea, and tonight a weeping she will be. And the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow. And we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, below, below. While the landlubbers lie down below. And the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow. We poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, below, below. While the landlubbers lie down below. Up spoke the cook of our gallant ship, and a crazy old butcher was he. Said, I care much more for me pots and me pans than I do for the bottom of the sea. And the ocean waves do roll, they roll, and the stormy winds do blow, how they blow. We poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, below, below.
Thank you, thank you. Donna and I are both Coast Guard approved skippers, captains, as a matter of fact. I used to sail. My last sail command was an 80-foot schooner out of Mystic called the Argia. We were doing 2, 3, and 5-hour day sails out of Mystic, out of Steamboat Wharf, and people would come in. They'd come into Mystic and check out the museum up there and check out the aquarium, and then they'd come down and they'd go for a sail on this real nice little schooner, and they'd be all thrilled with the romance of sail, and then I'd sing this little song for them, which I wrote for the Argia's big sister, the Voyager. The Voyager was doing 2, 3, and 5 day sailing adventures. I was working on the boat as a deckhand musician, and every year, for 5 years, I worked on this boat. For 4 years, at the end of the season, she would go down to the Caribbean and sail out of St. Thomas for the winter. And I always wanted to go on that trip, and I didn't get a chance to do it until my 5th year. I really wanted to go on this trip, so every time the owner and the captain walked within earshot, I sang this little song to them. And it was called Take Me to the Islands. About July, come around July that season, he came up to me and he said, "Rick, you know, I'll make you a deal. You stop singing that song around me, I'll take it, Devin." So he did. And when we got down there, I found that definitely there needed to be another song about what it was really like to work on a gaff-rigged schooner, especially down in the Caribbean. Because when we went down there, we had a bit of a dicey passage. We had 55-knot winds, 35-foot seas, and it was an adventure.
Things broke.
So we had to put the boat back together when we got back down to the islands, when we got down to St. Thomas. And this is what happened.
You do the G run up to C. Do the G run up to C.
It's kind of hard for you to sing along, huh? Goes like this. Oh, goodness me.
Wait.
Way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. That's it. Down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. It's enough to drive you insane. All the sun, the rum, and the rain. The sun and the rum and the rain. Well, you've been out to sea so long, you want to sit and listen to the reggae song. There is work that must be done in the hot and blistering sun. Well, chip that paint and slush down that mast. You'll broil as long as the job does last. Then it does no good to complain about the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, now way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane. All of the sun and the rum and the rain. Well, it rains hard, but not for long, but long enough to make everything it's sanded is wet on the boat. Just when the varnish needs another coat. And then the power is shorted out. You don't know whether you should cry or if you should shout. The only three things you can explain, they are the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane, all of the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, no, way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane, all of the sun and the rum and the rain. In the evening when your work is done, that's the time you can go out and look for some fun. Buy a $1 bottle of rum, have a drink and give your mate some. Another bottle, maybe 2 or 3 more. The crew is happy but knows what's in store. Tomorrow morning there will be some great pain because of the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane, all of the sun and the rum and the rain. Yes, way down in the Caribbean, it's hard to manage to get things done. It's enough to drive you insane, all of the sun and the rum and the rain.
My turn. Talk quietly amongst yourselves. No. Yes. Big ship. In sheep. You want to give the background on this one, please?
Nope.
Oh, darn. Smooth, professional, well rehearsed. Well, you told me to learn it. We play St. Patrick's Day parties, and one of the times we learned it, I was going through the Clancy Brothers and Tommy Macon songbook, and this was one of their childhood songs. It's called Big Ship. There's a big ship sailing on the Illy-Illy-O, Illy-Illy-O, Illy-Illy-O. Big ship sailing on the Illy-Illy-O, hey-ho, Illy-Illy-O. There's a big ship sailing, rocking on the sea, rocking on the sea, rocking on the sea. There's a big ship sailing, rocking on the sea, hey-ho, rocking on the sea. There's a big ship sailing on the Illy-Illy-O, Illy-Illy-O, Illy-Illy-O. Big ship sailing on the Illy-Illy-O, hey-ho, Illy-Illy-O. There's a big ship sailing back again, back again, back again. Big ship sailing back again, hey-ho, back again. There's a big ship sailing on the Illy-Illy-O, Illy-Illy-O, Illy-Illy-O. Big ship sailing on the Illy-Illy-O, hey-ho, Illy-Illy-O. Short, sweet.
Well, this next song is a song that I wrote. Another one. I was lucky enough to sail as first mate to Pete Seeger's captaincy on a sloop called the Woody Guthrie. A lot of people have heard of the Clearwater. The New York Times called her the Clearwater, the flagship of the environmental movement. After about 8 years or so, Pete took a look at the Clearwater, which he never owned, by the way. It's always been owned by an organization
They can be part of it too. You
Yes,
can own part of the,
you can own-
you can own the Clearwater too, just be a member.
Yeah, it's anyway. Pete took a look at the way the operation was going, and he thought, and he looked at it and said, you know, the Clearwater's a mighty fine boat, but she's kind of big to get into a lot of little river ports on the Hudson River. So in order to remedy the situation, what he did was he called up Cy Hamlin, the guy who designed the boat, the Clearwater, and he designed a 1/3 size Hudson River sloop, whereas Clearwater is the type of sloop that would have sailed up and down the Hudson River, carrying cargo and passengers. The one that Cy designed was called a ferry sloop. It was a type of boat that would have sailed back and forth across the river. Just about anywhere where there's a bridge today, there was a ferry. So he designed this boat. Pete commissioned 2 of these boats to be built. One was actually commissioned by a guy who decided he could build a hull of the boat for $500. Basically, it was a ferrocement hull, troweled over a steel mesh. That actually became my first command, as a matter of fact, the Sojourner Truth. The other boat was built out of good Catskill oak and pine, as Pete would say, and he named it for one of his good buddies, Woody Guthrie. And he decided he'd write a song for this boat around 2009, so he wrote the first verse and the chorus, and stole a melody from Stephen Foster, an old tune called Old Uncle Ned, and then gave up. And he decided, well, he wrote it out with the musical staff, the little note about Stephen Foster, and then at the bottom put another little note of his own saying, this song needs more verses. So about 10 years later, I found this little piece of ephemera, and now it has 4 verses to the song. It wasn't hard writing those 3 verses, though, because basically what I did was I took all the lessons that Pete taught me in 10 years of sailing with him, off and on. It wasn't like I was living at his house or anything. And all I had to do was make it rhyme. It's got a part for you to sing. It goes like this. Raise the main and back the jib. Let's head out to Newburgh Bay. Let's try that much. Raise the main and back the jib. Let's head out to Newburgh Bay. The second line is just as simple. Sloop Woody Guthrie, a fine little boat. We're all set to sail away. The sloop Woody Guthrie is a fine little boat. We're all set to sail away. So all together it sounds like this. Raise the main and back the jib. Let's head out to Newburgh Bay. The sloop Woody Guthrie is a fine little boat. We're all set to sail away. By the way, the Woody Guthrie is still sailing. It belongs to, it's been donated, Pete donated it to the Beacon Sloop Club, and if you're ever down at the Beacon waterfront around dinner time, 6, 7 o'clock at night, you can go out for a sail on the Woody Guthrie on Newburgh Bay. So, let's go. Raise the main and back the jib. Let's head out to Newburgh Bay. The sloop Woody Guthrie is a fine little boat. We're all set to sail away. She's got a cast iron keel, planks of oak, and a mast of yellow pine. A big cockpit for 10 or more folks, and she suits us all just fine. Raise the main and back the jib. Let's head out to Newburgh Bay. The sail to make it to Cold Spring. With the wind on the nose, we'll be tacking all the way till we get across from Old Storm King. Raise the main and back the jib. Let's head out to Newburgh Bay. The Sir Woody Guthrie is a fine little boat. We're all set to sail away. You can't get upwind by going straight into it. You fall off at an angle to and fro. Use what opposes you to gain your goal instead. That's a secret every sailor does know. Raise the main and back the jib. Let's head out to Newburgh Bay. Sir William Guthrie is a fine little boat. We're all set to sail away. Sometimes the wind's against you and sometimes it is your friend. Sometimes the wind, it just fails. You can't change the wind, but you can always adjust the sails. Raise the main and back the jib. Let's head out to Newburgh Bay. The Sir William Guthrie is a fine little boat. We're all set to sail away. Yes, raise the main and back the jib. Let's head out to Newburgh Bay. The Sir William Guthrie is a fine little boat. We're all set to sail away. Know that we're all set to sail away. I said that we're all set to sail away.
Great job. What's your back?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, as long as we're on the subject of Pete Seeger, Pete went on we went on a little tour up and down the Hudson on the Woody Guthrie, trying to sell some smaller sloop clubs on the idea of having their own little Clearwater right in their community. And that being the case, I heard Pete doing a salesman's job there. It was just incredible. And one day we were up in Troy, and there was a whole crowd on the bank. Pete had given a concert, and he wanted to convince these people to build their own Hudson River sloop. And in the process, he said, well, you know, that little sloop we've got anchored right out there, I could be happy spending my days just going back and forth on the Hudson River. And I thought to myself, I could be happy spending my days. Now that scans really well. Sailing back and forth across the Hudson River, little awkward. So what came out was this. It's called The River That Flows Both Ways. Your part goes like this: is the way Sister Edith would teach folk music when I was in 4th grade. Class, repeat after me. I could be happy.
I could be happy
Spending my days
spending my days
on the river that flows
on the river that flows
both ways.
both ways.
Yeah, now, I know that AAAs thing is a little weird, but that's because when you sing it, it sounds like this. I could be happy just spending my days on the river that flows both ways. That's it, try that. I could be happy spending my days on the river that flows both ways. Once a sachem told a story of a land the Great Spirit blessed, and the people followed the legend from the great waters in the west. And they stopped where they found that the fishing was good, earth it was fertile, and they ran in the woods. I could be happy just spending my days on the river that flows both ways. I could be happy just spending my days on First came the trappers, and then the traders, their own fortunes for to find. And the valley treated them kindly, so the farmers, they followed close behind. Then the sun sailed well late round the battery, flower from Yonkers, furs from Albany, and now I could be happy spending my days on the river that flows both ways. I could be happy just spending my days on the river that flows both ways. Writers and painters have shown its beauty in its waters and on the shore, while musicians sing its praises and keep alive the river's lore. With the sunset rolling o'er the Palisades, afternoon ends and then the daylight fades, and now I could be happy spending my days on the river that goes both ways. I could be happy just spending my days on the river that goes both ways. Now maybe it's the moonshine, maybe it's the starlight reflected in Haverstraw Bay. Maybe it's the fog that rolls off the highlands at the break of a brand new day. But apple cider and pumpkins, strawberries and corn make the people of the river glad they were born. And now I could be happy just spending my days on the river that goes both ways. I could be happy just spending my days on the river that goes both ways. Once more, I could be happy spending my days on the river that goes both ways. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Rick and Donna Nessler, ladies and gentlemen. Rick and Donna Nessler, thank you so much. We've got some more great music coming up in a few minutes. I want to thank you all and hope you're enjoying the festival. Don't forget our volunteers have the buckets for donations on the way out, or they'll come around if you want to sit and wait for more music. Thank you again. You're streaming live around the globe. Ready? Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. It is the afternoon of our second day of this year's Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. I hope you're all enjoying the fact that we are once again, after a hiatus, live and in person. And this festival is not possible without you all, because it's free, because we're supported entirely by your donations. My friends Michelle and Gail are back there with buckets. If you want to make a donation on your way out, those of you who are watching the live stream, you can make a donation by going online to pmffest.org, pmffest.org. Also, I understand that around the festival there are some places with QR codes. You can donate that way if you know what the heck that even means. And I hope you enjoy the festival. My name is Nick Noble. I'm the host of the Folk Revival on WICN Worcester Public Radio. But in my spare time, and this weekend, almost all my time, I'm a member of the board of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival, and I want to welcome you to this beautiful historic site, the Moffatt-Ladd house in this 18th century warehouse with its wonderful acoustics. And I'd like to introduce an incredible songwriter and a wonderful human being. Welcome, Mary Garvey.
And Len's going to join me on some choruses and harmonies. And let's sing Hold On. This is about the Coast Guard. We could not live where I live without the Coast Guard. It's so important, you all know that. And this, I'm going to be a little more chatty than I usually am. There are miracles involved in this story. First miracle, the Coast Guard was hovering over the area when they got the news. They were delivering Christmas presents, and usually they would have come from a long ways away. It was right around New Year's, Christmas, around in there. The second miracle is the main guy that the song is about had a cell phone in his pocket that someone had given him for Christmas. He was in the water. He pulls it out and the cell phone works. So that's another miracle. Another miracle is the Coast Guard didn't know quite where he was, but he had called, and it was somehow on the radio. The community knew about this as it was happening. Somehow the community figured out from the rocks and stuff he said where he was. So the Coast Guard was able to get to the area. They couldn't find him. He was sinking. He was under the water, had his hand just sort of up, and they found him, probably his last breath. And one of the people, his crewmate, did die. So his name, the crewman was Juan Perez, and the captain, skip whatever he was somebody Petite. I think it was Eddie Petite, maybe. He was a Chinook, native Chinook Indian. So anyway, the song repeats itself. The Coast Guard is coming to Willapa Bay, and first you sing, hold on, a whole awful lot. Hold on, I'm frightfully concerned. Hold on, there's a boat that's overturned. Hold on, there's a... Oh, let me start again. Hold on, I'm frightfully concerned. Hold on, there's news that we have learned. Hold on, a boat has overturned. The Coast Guard is coming to Willapa Bay. Hold on, they have a mighty scope. Hold on, there's a swimmer on a rope. Hold on, never give up hope. The Coast Guard is coming to Willapa Bay. Hold on, they'll jump into the seas. Hold on, they have trained for times like these. Hold on, the water's cold enough to freeze. The Coast Guard is coming to Willapa Bay. Hold on, the chopper's turned around. Hold on, it means one of them's been found. Hold on, the other's likely drowned. The Coast Guard is coming to Willapa Bay. Hold on, I'm scared to ask their names. Hold on, I know you feel the same. Hold on, the sea's not ours to tame. The Coast Guard is coming to Willapa Bay. We could not survive without them, could not. And they do training right nearby. You might have seen that there's a Coast Guard swimmer movie with Ashton, whatever his name is. Yeah, and that was filmed right right by where I lived. So Willowpaw Bay is very interesting. It looks like a lake. Oh no, it's got a river going right through it. It'll whisk you right out to the sea. So what were they after? I think crabs. Crabs are just terribly dangerous things to capture. And I do have some CDs. They may or may not be left, but it's all about shellfish harvesting. And this next song will be on the CD, sung by a lovely local women's group called Oyster Shell Road. Such pretty. Where'd I put it? It's right here. I apologize for using words, but I just never know if I'm gonna get through the song or not. Oh, you have to dig oysters when the tide is just right. Sometimes it comes in the midst of the night. The orders came down to extinguish all light to our homes on the Oyster Shell Road. Some were from Germany, some from Japan. They lived for the oyster, each woman and man. We said, God be with you, return when you can to your homes on the Oyster Shell Road. For the glow of a lantern could bring an attack. Sometimes we'd sleep in the old oyster shack and let ourselves down with a rake and a sack near our homes on the Oyster Shell Road. For when push comes to shove, your nettle shines through, and our hands and our feet somehow knew what to do. With the men gone away, we made such a fine crew near our homes on the Oyster Shell Road. We helped win the war in the mud and the muck, and prayed that our feet would never get stuck. When the tide rushes in, you can run out of luck near your homes on the Oyster Shell Road. Oh, how I remember the dark and the cold. I hope that our story would someday be told. It probably won't, 'cause we're getting so old in our homes on the Oyster Shell Road. And this is a true story, and of course, World War II blackout, they were doing it midnight, Christmas Eve or whatever. Horrible storms, horrible this, horrible that, in the dark. I just cannot comprehend it. Cannot. Did I sing the song about the neighbors would honk us all home in the rain? There's a line. I guess maybe I left out a verse on this. The neighbors would honk them home. So they would go by sound to get home. And that bay is treacherous and it's muddy, and it's muddier now than it was. It's almost like quicksand now. So what they did was, woo, too much for me. And how I got this song, like I said, I'm feeling chatty today. I worked at Washington State University in an extension office to call about pesticide credits. Somebody who wanted his pesticide credits. And he said, he just started talking. His mother just died, and she had been one of these oyster women workers, and she was very sad that nobody knew their story. So now you've all heard their story, which is quite amazing, I think. And, when people talk about women of the various wars, they probably haven't mentioned this, but shall we do Washaway Beach? Sure. We practiced and practiced and practiced for all of, 3 minutes? Yeah. 5 minutes. Sing along. Here's the chorus. For time and the tides are taking a toll on the beach. Let's start again. For time and the tides are I'm getting mixed up. Yeah. And the weary old waves, they rock and they roll and wash me away in the morning. For time and the tides have taken a toll on the beach and the jetty, the shore and the shoal. The weary old waves, they rock and they roll and wash me away in the morning. I live in a land they call Washaway Beach, where cranberries grow and the sandpipers screech. The land keeps washing away from my reach. Oh, wash me away in the morning. For time and the tides have taken a toll on the beach and the jetty, the shore and the shoal, and the weary old waves they rock and they roll. And wash me away in the morning. If you wash away sand, you can wash away grief, and cleanse me of memories past all belief. At very long last, I will get some relief. Oh, wash me away in the morning. For time and the tides have taken a toll on the beach and the jetty, the shore and the shoal, and the weary old waves, they rock and they roll. And wash me away in the morning. Wash every enemy, wash every friend. Give us the peace where the peace has no end. But war tore asunder, let nature now mend. Oh, wash me away in the morning. For time and the tides have taken a toll on the beach and the jetty, the shore and the shoal, and the weary old waves, they rock and they roll. And wash me away in the morning. The sea washed away, and the sea can rebuild, and wash all the places where blood has been spilled. My heart has been broken, my heart will be filled. Oh, wash me away in the morning. For time and the tides are taking a toll on the beach and the jetty, the shore and the shoal, and the weary old waves, they rock and they roll. And wash me away in the morning. Well, that was great. Did I explain this one or not?
No,
I didn't?
think we did.
You would stay and do, we'll do, the cannery shed. Anyway, some nurses who served in Vietnam one lived right at Washaway Beach, and the other not too far away, and so we dedicated made a little rock cairn and dedicated Washaway Beach, which is washing away, has washed away, it's gone. Nothing but some pipes in the sand. That's all you see, all the houses are gone, everything's gone. Cranberry bogs, everything. And they think that maybe it had to do with Weyerhaeuser or one of the logging companies digging big trenches. And so we'll do cannery shed. Who knows cannery? Some of you know cannery. Oh, isn't that amazing?
It's one of those things. What I usually tell people two of the more popular songs that I sing is Cannery Shed, Stella, and Astoria's Bar. And the thing is, what I tell them is, you're writing about the Pacific Northwest, but it's so much the same as the coast of Maine and New Hampshire.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I've said that a million times this weekend. Isn't that amazing? Yes. It's so universal.
Yeah.
And like, I sing a song about, the shrimp boats devastated in the last hurricane. But yet it's universal. And when their oysters go down, our oysters sales go up. Because we do a lot of oysters there. But as indicated by the Oyster Shell Road song. Now we're going to Cannery Shed. She's going to sort of lead it because I get mixed up when we put the chorus in.
Pitch.
I worked all my life in the cannery shed, and if I'm dying or you think I'm dead, don't bury my bones, put me instead in a can in the cannery shed. The cannery shed perches over the river, when the winter winds blow, you freeze and you shiver. When the boss comes around, I might have to give her my opinion of the cannery shed. I worked all my life in the cannery shed, and if I'm dying or you think I'm dead, don't bury my bones, but put me instead in a can in the cannery shed. There's no time to rest and there's no time to linger, and you better move sharp or you might lose a finger. Make your stomach turn if you knew everything has been canned in the cannery shed. I worked all my life in the cannery shed, and if I'm dying or you think I'm dead, don't bury my bones, but put me instead in a cannery shed. We'll chop off the heads and we'll chop off the tails and scoop out the guts and throw 'em in the pails. Won't get a rest till the next schooner sails from the dock and the cannery shed. I worked all my life in the cannery shed, and if I'm dying or you think I'm dead, don't bury my bones, but put me instead in the cannery shed. Lafayette went away and he wrote me a letter, and I tucked it up high in the sleeve of my sweater, and slipped and it fell and it ended in the shredder, got canned in the cannery shed. I worked all my life in the cannery shed, and if I'm dying or you think I'm dead, I'll bury my bones, put me instead in a cannery shed. The cannery boy, he's a very happy fella if he gets in a girl from the little town of Stella. I would if I could, but I'm not gonna tell you what goes on behind the cannery shed. I worked all my life in the cannery shed, and if I'm dying or you think I'm dead, don't bury my bones, put me instead in a cannery shed. Oh, that's great. Okay, I'll do a couple, and then we'll do Meg of the Cowlitz. And oh my gosh, I'm gonna run out of songs. No doubt about it.
Let's do one again.
Oh, that's true. You know, I'm putting together a CD about women of the sea, in the sea, whatever. And we have 2 songs about Mary Magdalene. I asked a woman if she would write one, because she was from a fishing family. I'm not going to do that song right. We're going to do it later. She's from a fishing empire family. And she also, supposedly tradition, whatever it is, got stuck in a boat when she was being persecuted with some other women called Mary and maybe some men, we're not sure. And the boat had no sails, no rudder, no oars, nothing. They just shoved them out to sea. And they ended up in France and Gaul. So there's all these legends and myths, and possibly her bones were buried there. We just don't know. I don't know. So this is not that. Yeah, like I said, usually I'm not this chatty. But how did I write the cannery shed? I don't know. Like I said, my father had a friend called Ole Olson, and when I was young, very young, like 3, 4, 5, they had a little, I don't know if they canned them, they kippered them, had kippered salmon. And I think Ole Olson probably knew more than a Garvey about fishing and all that accompanying jobs. But so anyway, so at a very young age, I lived very close to Stella, about 10 miles away. I'm from Longview, but you would not even know Longview is on the Columbia River because mill, big, huge lumber mills. So my father was a rural postman as well, so he knew all these places up and down the river, places they only spoke Swedish. I did sing in Swedish yesterday. It was sort of a failure, but it was fun. Seaview Bells. This is a true story. It was based on something in the Chinook Observer newspaper. A little girl found some cowbells, and her grandmother said, "Don't touch those. Those were used to bring the men into sea. When they couldn't see, you know, there was no lighthouses or anything way back." And so I'll sing this. I don't think there's any. I wish I could write nice choruses, you know, but I tend to not. I get very mixed up when I try to go from the verse to the chorus to the verse. Don't want to sing it. Back and forth the cowbells ring, onward swings the light, hoping that our signals bring our husbands home tonight. The Seaview bells are ringing as they do in storm and gale, ringing for the safe return of every lonesome sail. I recollect my wedding day, the day I was a bride, the vows I made that pledged me to the turn of every tide. The wind can blow him east and west, likewise north and south, and what a time he has to find the river's angry mouth. I leave my children in their cribs, hungry and alone. The cows loose in the pasture, the chickens on the shed. The wind is roaring, breaking off the branches of the trees. I struggle up the hill and face the thunder of the seas. I ring until my hand is numb and every muscle aches. I ring until his time has come, whatever form it takes. I'll ring to send him courage to face the ocean swell. I'll ring until I know I hear the answer of his bell. It's true I live in Seaview and I'm called Eliza Jane. When the storms blow in their fury, my duty is so plain. I'll hitch up my woolen petticoats and climb the hill again and join the other women folk in calling home their men. That's sad, isn't it? Well, you probably have storms as bad as we have. We like them. Terrible, terrible wind where I live. And you just don't see how they can navigate a boat or anything. Well, Heidi, should we try Meg of the Cowlitz? Sure. Let's try it. Like I say, this is somewhat autobiographical. Because I grew up, well, on the Columbia, but also the Cowlitz. They sort of merge into each other. Here's the chorus. And I won't have a man unless he understands. Meg of the Cowlitz makes no demands. I'll walk where he walks on these beautiful lands. And the river flows faster than me. I'm sure most of you got it. And we'll sing that one after every verse. And then at the very last, we'll sing He'll Walk Where I Walk. And I think they are Métis Indian, Métis people. I'm not sure. There's Cowlitz Indians where I grew up. Let's do one little higher. Sure. I'm Meg of the Cowlitz, upriver I came. The water that bore me gave me its name. My mother and father are one and the same, and the river flows faster than me. And I won't have a man unless he understands. Meg of the Cowlitz makes no demands. I'll walk where he walks on these beautiful lands, and the river flows faster than me. I gather my twigs for my baskets and brooms. I gather my herbs for my spells and perfumes. The fur from my rabbits goes straight to my looms, and the river flows faster than me. And I won't have a man unless he understands. Meg of the Cowlitz makes no demands. I'll walk where he walks on these beautiful lands, and the river flows faster than me. There's fish and there's berries, there's night and there's day, there's work and there's hunger, there's rest and there's play. Here I was born and here I will stay, and the river flows faster than me. And I won't have a man unless he understands. Meg of the Cowlitz makes no demands. I'll walk where he walks on these beautiful lands, and the river flows faster than me. And I won't have a man unless he understands. Meg of the Cowlitz makes no demands. He'll walk where I walk on these beautiful lands, and the river flows faster than me. Well, that's great. We're going to leave Mary Magdalene for a little while. Mary Magdalene is a new song. Well, we could do Boats of Peter's River. This is a Newfoundland song. Do you like it?
I do.
Good. I worked in Peter's River one summer on a research project, and just, when was it? No, I went back to Peter's River after the research project, and then, in the meantime, the fisheries had collapsed. I mean, collapsed. You could not go and get a fish for your dinner. It was that bad. And the men were, of course, devastated. And just when men lose their livelihoods, I think it's almost different than when women do. Because, especially if it's generational, been in their family for 200 years, whatever. And so somebody said, okay, you talk about the boys, where are the girls? And I said, they'll be fine. They will be fine. They'll become nurses and teachers. And the little boy in here says their eyes are on the highway instead of on, that's actually a little boy that was there. And he's very old to be, he pulled trucks on a little string. And usually older boys wouldn't do that, but he did. And he said, Miss, do you think I can get the best job in all of Canada? I said, well, maybe. I don't know. What would that be? A transit driver or truck driver. So hopefully he did. Or maybe he's governor, I don't know. Not a boat in Peter's River or in all St. Mary's Bay. The fishermen in rubber boots are staying home today. Hanging at the laundry, hang out at the store. The little boats of Newfoundland are idle on the shore. The men of Peter's River are just barely getting by, and the boats of Peter's River have their bottoms to the sky. The wives of Peter's River are taking up the slack. The fisheries is ended and it's never coming back. Sell a little knitting, set some broody hens. No sooner does a long day end, another one begins. The wives of Peter's River are too strong to sit and cry, and the boats of Peter's River have their bottoms to the sky. The boys of Peter's River are bright as boys can be. Their eyes are on the highway instead of on the sea. Where their fathers went before them is not where they must go. And the fate of Peter's River is not for us to know. The boys of Peter's River are too young to wonder why, and the boats of Peter's River have their bottoms to the sky. The storms of Peter's River have pounded us for years, crashing in the harbors and smashing up the piers. We've ridden out these storms before by shooting at our boats, but we know this storm is different and we cannot stay afloat. There's no nets in Peter's River hanging out to dry, and the boats of Peter's River have their bottoms to the sky. And they really did. They flipped the boats over. And then when they had a huge storm, which I think they're having maybe right now, Fiona is hitting them hard, I think. They shoot the boats and the boats sink, and then they can pick them up again, so they don't smash to bits. Yeah, that's a wonderful place. I went back to Newfoundland this summer without Peter and Audie. I'm so sorry. Would have taken you. Okay, when it gets close to time, we're going to sing Mary Magdalene, and you'll forgive us if it's a little bit rough, but she was a great maritime figure.
We hear two more songs. So
Two more songs?
yeah,
Okay,
so
we'll do.
Back to Mary Magdalene after, whatever you do now.
Have we done Tie It Up and Let It Rot?
No, we haven't.
Okay, let's do that one. You just start out every verse with Tie It Up and Let It Rot. Tie it up and let it rot, for it soon will be forgot that there ever were the boats to match these men. Puget Island born and bred to the gray skies overhead, and we'll never see the likes of them again. Tie it up and let it rot, for the last fish that I caught did not bring enough to buy the gas that day. When you're going after salmon, it is feast or it is famine. It looks like Mr. Famine's here to stay. Tie it up and let it rot, for I think it matters not where my fathers' fathers' fathers fished before. From the river to the sea, now it ends right here with me. There will be no Larson's fish here anymore. Tie it up and let it rot, for the sons that I begot have earned their fame and fortune on the land. And they laugh when they explain they don't miss the wind and rain, but it's just not in my blood to understand. Tie it up and let it rot, for I found a pretty spot, and I can't afford to lose another dime. And if the floods wash her away, then who am I to say, and shall run this mighty river one last time. That's funny, because there is a boat tied up on Puget Island. It was. You can see it on the ferry between Oregon and Washington. And it was just there, you know. And also I worked in fisheries at the University of Washington, just graduate admissions. A young man called Larson sort of reminded me of all this. So that's why I put the Larsons in. There are tons of Larsons. We're a very Scandinavian area. Okay, we're going to try Mary Magdalene. Excuse us, please, while we attempt this. This is the one we spent hours and hours and hours on. Almost 3 minutes.
Yes.
The tune, you'll recognize the tune. It's the tune I do for Four Marys of Mary Hamilton, that one. And it really gets into that, it gets into that song. You'll see some repeats and stuff. Okay, here we go. This might work, might not, but we're close to the end. So this is the last one, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's trying to speed us up a bit. Arise, arise, Mary Magdalene, arise, for you must flee. Farewell, farewell to Palestine and the shores of Galilee. Bring your shawl, your risen bread, your alabaster jar. We know not where we travel to, we know not yet how far. They put us in a rudderless boat and said that we were cursed. But when we reached the coast of Gaul, the last indeed were first. The moon it was my guiding light, a woolen cloak my sail. The cross he bore was the oars I pulled through every storm and gale. Women folk, take my advice, don't give up on men. They were born into this world of woe and do the best they can. Love can cross the 7 seas, love can reach the stars. Love can bridge the bottomless void, love can ever be ours. Today there are 4 Marys, I know there are not 3. There's Mary Salome and Mary Jacobi, Mary his mother and me. Chorus. Love can cross the 7 seas, love can reach the stars. Love can bridge the bottomless void, love can ever be ours. I think that worked well.
Thank you both. Mary Garvey, ladies and gentlemen, and Heidi Slaney, too. Mary Garvey, thank you so much, Mary. Thank you all. In just a few minutes, Cliff Hassel and Taylor Whiteside will be up here, but right now, again, I want to thank you for being part of the festival. We've got a little bit more to go before our Shanty Blast in Market Square. One more session, as I said. Cliff Hassel and Taylor Whiteside will be here momentarily Don't forget to make a donation on your way out. Gail and Michelle are waiting with their lovely buckets, and it's been wonderful to have you as well. I want to give a special thank you to Lynn, who's been live streaming this excitement for 2 days. All I do is talk. She actually works. And this is so much fun indeed. Again, those of you online, you can make a donation by going to pmffest.org. Back in a bit. Thank you.
Hey, could you tell them it's also on that program?
Is the camera right? Welcome everyone for the final session here at this wonderful historic site, the Moffatt-Ladd House and the 18th century warehouse with its terrific acoustics. The final session of this venue for the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival, the 22nd Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival, and as I've said so many times, thankfully, our first time back live in person in 3 years. So it's just absolutely amazing to make this happen and to have you all here. My name is Nick Noble. I am the host of the Folk Revival on WICN, Worcester Public Radio, but in real life, I am also the treasurer of the board of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. And so I encourage you to make a donation on the way out. If you head over to Market Square for the Shanty Blast, I encourage you because this festival is free and possible only because of all of you. It's funded entirely by donations. So in advance, thank you so much. You can also make donations online at pmffest.org. That's pmffest.org. There are also on programs, there's QR codes, all sorts of things that'll help you. Thank you very much. That'll help you make donations. Without further ado, looking forward to this terrific ensemble, Cliff Haslam and Taylor Whiteside and Bruce McIntyre.
Oh, let's see. Let's start off with a song called John Kanaka. It's good chorus song for you out there. So. I thought I heard the old men say, John Kanaka to lie. Today is a holiday. John Kanaka to lie. Oh, to lie. John Kanaka to lie. Around Cape Horn we all must go. John Kanaka to lie. Around Cape Horn through the ice and snow. John Kanaka to lie. To lie. Oh, to lie. John Kanaka to lie. Growl you may, but go you must. John Kanaka to lie. If you growl too hard, your head they'll bust. John Kanaka to lie. To lie. Oh, to lie. John Kanaka to lie. My old mum, she wrote to me. John Kanaka to lie. Son, oh son, come home from sea. John Kanaka to lie. To lie. Oh, to lie. John Kanaka to lie. One more pull and then belay. John Kanaka to lie. For today is a holiday. John Kanaka to lie. To lie. Oh, to lie. John Kanaka to lie.
Likewise, my mother's too, a son to see. My father is a fisherman, likewise my brothers too. My father is a fisherman, likewise my brothers too. They follow in his footsteps with a wooden point of view. While I, the black sheep of the lot, work safely on the shore. I keep account of what we've got, find ways to make it more. My mother left for Boston town some 7 years ago. We sons receive a letter each Christmas time or so. My father takes the dory then, From the harbor road till the weather drives them in, that's when his sorrow shows. 4 boats in the harbor, where's the Martin Gray? She was due to fetch the Cuddy Light by 3 o'clock today. No sail on the horizon, no vessel by the bay. 4 boats in the harbor, where's the Martin Gray? Now the man's the master of his heart, as boys we all were told. He strains to play the hero's part, a captain brave and bold. But in the end must pay the toll, feelings never show. Trapped within this age-old role, he finds himself alone. 4 boats in the harbor, where's the Martin Gray? She was due to fetch the Cuddy Light by 3 o'clock today. No sail on the horizon, no vessel by the bay. 4 boats in the harbor, where's the Martin Gray? Now father says that one fine day he'll take the Gray and go to an island far beyond the bay that the coast and trade don't know. There he'll run the mainsail down and anchor by the shore, to leave behind old fishing grounds and think of her once more. 4 boats in the harbor, where's the Martin Gray? She was due to fetch the Cuddy Light by 3 o'clock today. No sail on the horizon, no vessel by the bay. 4 boats in the harbor, where's Martin Gray? 4 boats in the harbor, where's the Martin Gray? She was due to fetch the Cuddy Light by 3 o'clock today. No sail on the horizon, no vessel by the quay. 4 boats in the harbor, where's the Martin Gray? 4 boats in the harbor, where's the Martin Gray?
Oh, you guys are together? Oh. I didn't realize that. I thought you're not going to sing a song?
Oh, I'll be singing one in a bit.
Oh. Excuse me. Suck on these lozenges. Working my throat this weekend. I've been trying to sing this song all weekend, so that was my opportunity. Yeah, it's a song by Stuart Marcus, I think you know well from the festival here. And it's a song called The Gloucester Ladies. And so he wrote this song, I think he read the book, The Perfect Storm, and said the song didn't come out in time for the film. So, and I guess it's a refrain on the Gloucester ladies, I think. I hope to get to when I think about it. When the seas are calm, the sky is clear, the winds blow light and warm. It's hard to picture in your mind what it's like at the height of a storm. For seas do change and winds grow foul, hurl a ship a lee, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for their men to return from the sea. 400 years the men set out, the grandbacks for to ply, with one eye on the fishing rig, the other towards the sky. For the sudden storm is such the norm, with great ferocity, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for their men to return from the sea. 10,000 men set sail again in good ships taut and free, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for their men to return from the sea. A pitch-pole wave strikes from ahead, a breaching sea from the side. Her bow is bedded in the trough, the crew end up in the tide. So many men not seen again, God bless their families. And the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for their men to return from the sea. 10,000 men set sail again in good ships taut and free, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for their men to return from the sea. In the old church hall there stands a wall, 10,000 names upon, of every man who worked the sea and disappeared thereon, and every one a mother's son, sweetheart or a friend, and all they have is a watery grave, no resting place to tend. 10,000 men set sail again in good ships taut and free, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for their men to return from the sea. 10,000 men set sail again in good ships taut and free, and the Gloucester ladies wait and pray for their men to return from the sea.
Okay, so, oh yes. Speaking of men at the sea, this one about one sailor from New Bedford in the 1850s, when the city was the richest city per capita in this country, all on account of the wonderful qualities of whale oil. This was before petroleum was discovered. So, there's also a town mentioned, Somerset, that's in Massachusetts, near New Bedford, where a lot of ships were built. All right, so it goes like this. New Bedford is a whaling town, as everybody knows. Her fame has spread the world around, and still her fortune grows. And I, like other whaler men, have sailed the 7 seas to hunt the great Leviathan, wherever it might be. When first I saw the Caracat, her every inch was new. She'd just come down from Somerset, they were making up her crew. I signed as mate, it took no time, for well I knew the sea. I wrote my name upon the line, and there my destiny. A day I well remember, and dearly would forget. I rue the day I stepped stand on board the whaler Coquette. Off Greenland shore last Christmas tide, just half a mile to lee, a right whale spout our lookout spied. The crew cheered merrily. Our captain told us at all costs to bring this treasure in. She'd fill our hold, she'd be our last, and there we'd make for home. We lowered our boats, we pushed away. I told the men to row. We came to where this creature lay, the lancer made to throw. Just then our boat it leapt up high, and from the stern I flew. And as I tumbled from the sky, I bid this world adieu. A day I well remember and dearly would forget. I rue the day I stepped on board the whaler Coquette. I sank like stone, I did despair. Somehow, suddenly, I was pushed back up and I reached the air. My men were grabbing me. They wrapped me in a piece of sail, picked up their oars again, and off we sped to catch that whale, our money for to win. But glancing round behind our craft, there in our wake I spied my rescuer, a right whale calf. Leave off this chase, I cried, but my command they did refuse. Did not the captain say, we lose this whale, we likewise lose a quarter of our pay. A day I well remember and dearly would forget. I rue that day I stepped on board the whaler Coquette. Take it. Caught that whale, we boiled her down. Her calf was left to die. They danced on deck, but I stood around. My head was in the sky. Then halfway home off Newfoundland, there came a storm at sea. We ran aground on rocks and a sand, and none were saved but me. A day I well remember and dearly would forget. I rue the day I stepped on board the whaler Coquette. A day I well remember and dearly would forget. I rue the day I stepped on board the whaler Coquette. New Bedford is a whaling town, as as everybody knows. Her fame is spread the world around, and still her fortune grows.
Cyril Tawney, great songwriter. He wrote some fun songs and he wrote some beautiful songs. But I'm just going to do a good and rouser called Chicken on a Raft. Because you know Welsh. I know you. Skipping in the water and drinking gin. Hi-oh, chicken on a raft. Don't mind a knocking, but I ain't going in. Hi-oh, chicken on a raft. Jim is laughing like a drain. Hi-oh, chicken on a raft. In lucky McCormick cuts again. Hi-oh, chicken on a raft. Chicken on a raft on a Monday morning. Oh, what a terrible sight to see. That was put in a dustman. Sitting there picking on a chicken on a raft. And I-oh, 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 chicken on a raft. They game in the middle of the forenoon too. I-oh, chicken on a raft. Now I'm pulling on a whaler's crew. I-oh, chicken on a raft. Seagulls wheeling overhead. I-oh, chicken on a raft. And ought to be floating on a feather bed. I-oh, chicken on a raft. Chicken on a raft on a Monday morning. Oh, what a terrible sight to see. That was put in a dustman. Sitting there picking on a chicken on a raft. And I-oh, 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 chicken on a raft. An Amazon girl lived in Dumfries. Hi-oh, chicken on a raft. Only as kids be 2s and 3s. Hi-oh, chicken on a raft. Sister lives in Maryhill. Hi-oh, chicken on a raft. She says she won't, but I think she will. Hi-oh, chicken on a raft. Chicken on a raft on a Monday morning. Oh, what a terrible sight to see. That was put in a dustman. Sitting there picking on a chicken on a raft. And I-oh, 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 chicken on a raft. I had a little girl in Donny B. I-oh, chicken on a raft. And did she make a fool of me? I-oh, chicken on a raft. Her heart was like a purser's shower. I-oh, chicken on a raft. A mop too cold in a quarter of an hour. I-oh, chicken on a raft. Chicken on a raft on a Monday morning. Oh, what a terrible sight to see. That was put in a dustman. Sitting there picking on a chicken on a raft. And I-oh, 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 chicken on a raft. We kissed goodbye in a midnight bus. I-oh, chicken on a raft. She didn't cry, she didn't fuss. I-oh, chicken on a raft. Am I the one that she loves best? I-oh, chicken on a raft. Or am I just a cuckoo in another man's nest? I-oh, chicken on a raft. Chicken on a raft on a Monday morning. Oh, what a terrible sight to see. That was put in a dustman. Sitting there picking on a chicken on a raft. And I-oh, 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 chicken on a raft.
My own life has been one of discoveries. As we get older, we find about 3 answers and about 6,000 questions. I was listening to a guy one time in an astronomy class that I was in. He said that for every discovery they make, there are 10,000 new questions. It seems to me going backwards at that speed, but whatever. So joy and sorrow, we think of them like this, but in times of our life, they're like this, behind each other. You can't tell one from the other. And that's what this song is about. It's called The Bricks of Joy and Sorrow. The night star must die to bring the day. Yearlings watch their mothers walk away. Winter from the flower steals the land. Pain and sorrow hold the jester's hand. Paint a picture white and have no compass. Fill your eyes with black and blinded be. Beams of sun must always ride the darkness. To light and dark, yes and no, straight and crooked, joy and woe. To sacred and profane, we lift our glasses now. Man and woman weep and find creation. Wild ducks perish by the hunter's hand. Water drowns a friend and saves a wheat field. A quiet sunset heals a broken land. Paint a picture white and have no compass. Fill your eyes with black and blinded be. Beams of sun must always ride the darkness. To light and dark, yes and no, straight and crooked, joy and woe. To sacred and profane, we lift our glasses now. Pay the piper, friend, and take your chances. The blessings of this day will surely fade. Likewise, darkness will with light be sundered. With joy, with bricks of joy and sorrow, life is made. Paint the picture white and have no compass. Fill your eye with black and blinded be. Beams of sun must always ride the darkness. To light and dark, yes and no, straight and crooked, joy and woe. To sacred and profane, we lift our glasses now.
He wrote that. That could become a classic. This one comes from Hyannis, because I had a gig in Hyannis once in October. It was a rainy stretch of time, and I played there for 2 weeks in a restaurant that had been a boxcar. I was able to see the highway, and in the 2 weeks that I played there, 3 cars drove by. It was off season, so drum.
Yes, I got it.
It's called Roll Ocean Roll. Roll, ocean, roll, the whole wide world around. Comfort my soul, bring this ship to land. I miss someone in a place that I call home, and I would not be downhearted, but it's been so long. Shine, heaven, shine, lighten my way. I haven't time to tarry for a day. Someone's awaiting to step outside her door, to tell her that her true love has returned once more. And I can see across the miles a cabin dry, a simple place, it's had its trials, but it's warm at night. And I'll never leave her to find an easy smile. I only wish it wasn't such a long, long while. could see across the miles a cabin bright. A simple place, it's had its trials, but it's warm at night. And I'll never leave her to find an easy smile. I only wish it wasn't such a long, long while. So roll, ocean, roll, the whole wide world around. Comfort my soul, bring this ship to land. I miss someone in a place that I call home. And I would not be downhearted, but it's been so long. I would not be downhearted, but it's been so long.
This is a Bill Meek song. It's about the hardships of the fishing life for him and his family. So it's called Time Ashore Is Over. Do you know this song or not? Song? I never know. I think it's a new song to me, and I go to some place. Everybody knows the song. Oh. It's got a couple of refrains in it. So. Standing on the dockside wall, sailing on the evening tide, waiting for the skipper's call. Time ashore, bright hours ashore, time ashore is over. Sally's watching as I go, sailing on the evening tide, two filled eyes, two kids in tow. Time ashore, bright hours ashore, time ashore is over. What of her when I'm Iceland bound, sailing on the evening tide? Will she be true or gather round? Time ashore, bright hours ashore, time ashore is over. I can't recall since she was mine, sailing on the evening tide, for more than 3 days at a time. Time ashore, bright hours ashore, time ashore is over. I think of her when the nets go out, sailing on the evening tide. My heart is sure, but my head's in doubt. Time ashore, bright hours ashore, time ashore is over. When you're trapped on the northern sea, sailing on the evening tide, it's 1,000 miles of uncertainty. Time ashore, bright hours ashore, time ashore is over. Oh, life and love can face it all, sailing on the evening tide, for following this cursed trawl. Time ashore, bright hours ashore, time ashore is over. Standing on the dockside wall, sailing on the evening tide, waiting for the skipper's call. Time ashore, bright hours ashore, time ashore is over.
This one comes from the Bahamas, yes. And it's attributed to different singers. Joseph Spence is one, but there are others as well, so we're not entirely sure. But it's got an important part in it for you to sing. You have to sing it because I'll be singing other words and I need you for backup. So, do you remember what key we did it in? I don't. We'll see. Okay, so anyway,
Pick one.
it'll go like this. I'll sing words, then you'll sing run, come see, run, come see. I'll sing other words and then you'll sing run, come see, Jerusalem. I see. We don't have to continue the class. It was in 1929.
But come see.
I remember that day very well. It was in 1929.
One come see Jerusalem.
That day they were talking about a storm in the island.
Run,
My God, it was a beautiful morning. They were talking about a storm in the island.
Run, come see Jerusalem.
That day there were 3 ships leaving out the harbor.
Run, come
The Ethel, the Myrtle, and Pretoria. There were 3 ships leaving out the harbor. Run, come see Jerusalem. These ships were bound for a neighboring island.
Run,
With the mothers and the children on board. These ships were bound for a neighboring island. Run, come see Jerusalem. Now the Pretoria was out on the ocean, rocking from side to side. Yes, the Pretoria was out on the ocean. Run, come see Jerusalem. My God, when the first wave hit the Pretoria, run, come the mothers were out in the children. My God, when the first wave hit the Pretoria, run, come see Jerusalem. My God, there were 33 souls on the water. They were swimming and running for the good Lord God. There were 33 souls on the water. Run, come see Jerusalem. My God, now George Brown, he was the captain. Run, come see, my children, come see. Yes, he said, come now, witness your judgment. Run, come see Jerusalem. It was in 1929. It was a beautiful morning. It was in 1929. Run, come see Jerusalem. Run, come see Jerusalem. Run, come see Jerusalem. Yeah, we want to do Connemara last. Is that right with you?
That's fine.
You.
We started earlier with end early.
Okay.
I'm admiring your using your time well.
I thought it was my blueberry outfit that.
It's attractive too.
I thought to sing kind of a farewell song for the festival. I've had a great time. Just weather turned out great, so just a little bit here about. And this song about this kind of thing, not wanting to end. And this song called "Bide a While." Oh, the day's full end is rounded out, and ends the working light. For I shall have all round about the friendship of this night, to bide a while, bide a while, sit here down by me, bide a while, bide a while in friendly company. So bide with us just 1 hour to pass before you think to part. Allow the landlord fill your glass. Let friendship fill your heart. And bide a while, bide a while. Sit you down by me. Bide a while, bide a while in friendly company. Use up the time you have to spend with kinsmen you well know. So pull aside a cheer, lads, time before you go. To bide a while, bide a while, sit here down by me. Bide a while, bide a while in friendly company. Come one, come all, for the parting toast is raised in fond refrain. No matter who shall play the host, we'll bide a while again. So bide a while, bide a while, sit here down by me. Bide a while, bide a while in friendly company. Thank you.
It's kind of a farewell song. At least the first verse is, then it sort of becomes a return song. When I was young, in dear old Erin, I never cared too much for gold, 'cause we were all too busy caring about being hungry and feeling cold. With 14 children around the table, we always knew how life would be. So just as early as I was able, I made my mind up and went to sea. I sailed away from Connemara. Those ancient hills are calling me from long ago. Until tomorrow, that's where my heart will always be. I started working as a lonely seaman. I left behind the life I'd known. I struggled hard and rose a captain. I now have wealth to call my own. But in the past, as I was sailing, I never sailed the homeward sea. Until at last, when I am failing, now who'll be there to welcome me? I'm sailing home to Connemara. Those ancient hills are calling me from long ago. Until tomorrow, that's where my heart my mind, I've often journeyed back to the childhood I thought 'twas cold. That tiny peat fire just barely burning, it now seems warmer than all my gold. I've always longed for Connemara, I miss my home and family. The time has come, I'm sailing homeward, we all come round eventually. I'm sailing home to Connemara, those ancient hills are calling me from long ago until tomorrow. That's where my heart will always be. I'm sailing home to Connemara, those ancient hills are calling me from long ago until tomorrow. That's where my heart will always be. That's where my heart will always be.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Taylor Whiteside, Bruce McIntyre, and Cliff Haslam. One more hand for them. Thank you so much. And thank you all so much as well. It's about 20 minutes until the Shanty Blast in Market Square. We have one last contribution bucket waiting for on your way out. If a couple of you don't want to get wet, could help start moving chairs. Our volunteers are going to start stacking chairs. We have to leave this place more beautiful. We found it, a wonderful historic site, the Moffatt-Ladd House, and this 18th century warehouse. Thank you all on behalf of the Portsmouth Maritime Folk Festival. Thank you.